Hello there. First of all, I should introduce myself. I am an archive box, but I am also known as an archival box or a record box, and my function is to house documents in different formats, but especially in paper form. I am not, however, any old archive box. I am an archives box from the archives of the Port of Tarragona, a facility set up 20 years ago in order to safeguard the historical and administrative funds generated by the Port of Tarragona, now known as the Port Authority of Tarragona. I would like to explain in the clearest and simplest way I can the actual journey made by administrative documents initially generated in the administrative offices of the Port Authority of Tarragona up till when they are transferred to the Port Archives. This journey is called the life cycle of documents. Shall we begin? My inseparable companions, the documents, are created in an office in response to a specific need, to register a particular business transaction or operation, or to attest to a decision or a given order. Normally, an administrative document does not exist as a single unit, but is accompanied in its life cycle by fellow documents, which have the same characteristics or format. Sometimes they are identical apart from the distinct information they contain. Then they are called a record series. At other times, the documents are different from each other, but are filed together, often resulting in them becoming commonplace. 5 years after an original document is created, its currency comes to an end, that is to say, its first record age. At the first age, the current record is still active, being taken in and out of its box while moving round from office to office. After this, the second stage begins for the document. This is the intermediate record age of a document's life cycle. It is at this point when documents which are more than 5 years old can be transferred to the intermediate age records. And how are these documents transferred? Inside an archive box, of course, that is to say, inside of me. My job is to protect the documents from external agents such as dust or humidity, and at the same time try not to lose their principle of provenance. This means to maintain the order and context in which the original administrative documents were created, as this lets us know why they were created in the first place. When transferred to the intermediate filing records, archivists carry out a series of procedures such as carefully checking that each box file contains the documents which the administrative workers have specified on the accrual. Some of these transfers involve hundreds of box files, so you can imagine the work involved. The archivists also check for and get rid of any unwanted objects such as clips, rubber bands or plastic, which might harm the preservation of my old friends, the documents. Once this is done, a corresponding registration number is given to the documents, assigning them a place inside the main box classification system. This is the basic work tool used by archivists, giving them a clear idea of the historical background of each archive box. After this, we the archive boxes are moved to a storage area where we are put away alongside our companions. And all this in the digital age when one imagines that paper records would be electronically digitised. Here we wait until we are needed by an administrative worker from the Port Authority of Tarragona, who has to check or query some data that some of our records might hold. Better still, if we are lucky, we might form part of a historical document. Historical archive boxes are kept permanently. Just imagine being such a historical document and having the chance of being studied by a researcher interested in the history of the Port of Tarragona. However, to be classified as a historical document is a difficult road for all documents to go down, as it will take an awful lot of storage space to store away all the documents generated in the world. That is why our archivist friends use a documental record schedule, an administrative document management and assessment system devised by committees of academics and scholars. It is against this that the document series are looked at, classified and assessed. A final decision is then made according to the given criteria in the system to either permanently select or eliminate the documents. Those documents that are lucky enough to be classified as historical move on to the third age of their life cycle, one in which they are kept permanently in a special storage area. Here, a suitable temperature and level of humidity is maintained to ensure their long life. They are also guarded by alarms against possible thieves, as some documents due to their age and value are regarded as works of art. Above all, they must be protected against their arch enemy, fire, the destroyer, which would finish off any of them in seconds. This is why all archive centres have, or should have, fire extinguishers and fire alarms in place. Then there is the problem of insects. For some insect species, archives are their favourite food. To fight any infestations, the archives are periodically fumigated to protect them from these pests. Once a document is classified as historical, our friends the archivists treat them with great care and do not allow them to be touched by just anyone, as the documents are very sensitive to not only changes in temperature, but also, for example, to being photocopied. That is why, as soon as our administration can afford it, campaigns of digital filing are carried out. This means that identical copies of records are created electronically, allowing them to be viewed easily without the original documents having to be touched. However, at the same time, thanks to a worldwide revolution in digital filing having taken place, just by going on the internet, millions of people living anywhere on this planet can access and browse through any of these records online at any time. Just imagine. This then is all I wanted to explain. I hope from now on, when you hear about the life cycle of documents, of the 3 ages of documents, the archives of the Port of Tarragona, or any other archives, you will have a much clearer idea of exactly what that involves. See you soon.